Police are reporting a similar modus operandi in 4 murders that took place overnight here in St. Vincent. Dead are a young man of Camden Park, an elderly woman of Largo Heights, her 40-year-old son, and yet another elderly woman of Kingston Park. All victims are said to have been bludgeoned to death by a brick or stone. Residents of the Kingston Park report hearing the elderly woman screaming, and thankfully were able to apprehend a 19-year-old suspect who is now hospitalized. The question is now being asked: if 4 persons can be brutally killed in one night in 3 different locations the same way in their homes, how sound is security in St. Vincent? IKtv News Update will continue to press and follow these news items. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves made the announcement while delivering his Independence Address at the Victoria Park on Thursday, October 27th, Independence Day, that the government will be releasing a number of prisoners sometime this year.
Another week or 2 after a review which is currently underway is completed by the competent authorities, I intend to advise His Excellency the Governor General to order the release of some young men and women who are serving terms of imprisonment for relatively minor offenses. I consider that in all the circumstances that these young persons ought to be given a second chance. This is the internationally proclaimed year of mercy by people of faith, and we ought to exercise it appropriately to these young persons and others.
Prime Minister Dr. Ralph E Gonzalez at the Independence Day Parade said that it is right and proper that we recommit ourselves to God and to each other to do what is right and better.
It is right and proper that as we acknowledge our nation's socio-economic and technological advances, we must recognize too and lament our individual and collective shortcomings and fall from grace, and be accordingly contrite and recommit ourselves to do what is better and right. As always, change for the better has to come and start with each of us. We do good, but we can do better. And as the saying goes, every saint has a past, every sinner has a future.
Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves said that while we are pained and angriest at the crime and violence in our land, all hands must be on deck to deal with the problems that plague our country.
Undoubtedly, we are pained and anguished at the blight of violence crime perpetrated largely through the use and misuse of guns and bullets by a small group of young men. This affects not only the victims and their families, but all of us in this small geographic space called St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Clearly, the solution to criminal violence is not a matter only for the government and the police force. All hands must be on deck, including centrally all the institutions of the state, the family, the schools, the churches, the media, the political parties, the non-governmental groups, and the communities themselves.
Honorable Dr. Gonsalves said that although it can be challenged, citizens' security is sound.
Still, even amidst the dangers of criminal violence, our country remains safe. And citizen security, though challenged, is sound. Overwhelmingly, our people of all ages, sex and social condition are law-abiding, peaceful and good-natured. And the violent criminals are given no supportive space in our communities, save and except from a few criminally connected persons.
A lingering trough system presently located in the east of the island chain is expected to affect the islands by tonight into tomorrow. This trough is expected to generate an increase in cloudiness, showers, and possible isolated thunderstorms across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Soils are still saturated, therefore residents in areas prone to flooding and landslides are advised to be vigilant during the passage of the system. The management of the regional airline, LIAT, says it is working to restore normalcy to its network schedule, which has been impacted by the unexpected weather conditions. In a release late on Wednesday, LIAT says high winds in St. Vincent and the Grenadines last Saturday resulted in an aircraft being grounded at the E.T. Joshua Airport. According to LIAT, the inclement weather this week resulted in flooding as well as the closure of the E.T. Joshua Airport on Wednesday, and this led to the cancellation of some flights. The airline says passengers can expect to experience some further delays and some disruptions is expected for the coming days. It also says passengers who are booked to travel with LIAT through to November 14th may change their departure or return dates at no additional charges. The Central Water and Sewage Authority, CWSA, says it has sustained several damages to its water systems due to the passage of the thaw-off system that affected the island between November 8th and 9th, 2016. General Manager of the CWSA, Garth Saunders, in providing an update on the current water situation, says they were able to carry out repairs on the Dalloway and Majorca systems yesterday, but noted that several areas in and around Kingstown will continue to experience water shortages. Mr. Saunders says that CWSA's water truck will be going into several of the affected communities today to supply persons with water. He is also calling on persons to report any instances of broken pipelines to the CWSA. The police have issued a release seeking help from the public in identifying a body that was pulled out of the waters of King Garden on Wednesday. The police said Coast Guard personnel were on patrol when they saw the body floating in the waters before retrieving it. The release states that the body has a tattoo on the left hand and it was clad in black pants. It is not clear if the body is that of a Vincentian. A post-mortem was scheduled to have been performed on Thursday. Cleanup efforts are underway after heavy rains brought a trough system, caused flooding and landslides on mainland, St. Vincent and in Bequia. Deputy Director of the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, Michelle Forbes, says 7 inches of rain was dumped on St. Vincent and the Grenadines between 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday and 11:30 a.m. on Wednesday. As a result of the thaw-off system, Ms. Forbes said NEMO has received 70 reports of damage or flooding near homes and 52 landslides. One child died, one sustained injuries, and another is missing following the thaw-off system. Dead is a 12-year-old Philip Compton of Pageant Farm, Bequia, who, according to reports, died while trying to clear a drain along with his father. The missing child is identified as Jaquan May, an 8-year-old boy of Camden Park, who was reportedly swept away by a heavy flowing river located just behind the house he was staying in with his mother and siblings. The Ministry of Tourism, Sports and Culture, in collaboration with the Caribbean Tourism Organization, continues the Caribbean Tourism Month social media marathon this week with the focus on nature. The largest cruise ship to dock at the cruise ship terminal arrived in Port Kingstown on Friday, November 11th, with some 4,000 passengers. Prime Minister Dr. Honorable Ralph E Gonzalez and other officials were invited aboard the Britannia to meet with Captain Paul Brown. Here are some of the highlights.
Hello, Captain Sugar. Is this my captain?
Yes. How are you, sir?
How are you? I'm sorry to have kept you waiting.
Well,
What is your full name?
Paul Brown. Captain Paul Brown. Paul Stewart Brown.
You're Scottish?
No, No, it's an English brown.
It's an English brown.
In fact, it's a Yorkshire brown.
A Yorkshire brown. Should I be holding the hands of a man across the 10 irons?
Oh, you've got a Lancashire.
Yeah.
We've got 280 metres is in the fort, and the other 50 metres is outside. But we are more than happy to be here.
Thank you very much.
Secured alongside.
I understand you have 3,565 passengers aboard.
Absolutely. And many are on tour, but the ones that are not on tour, well, they're heading ashore as we speak to head to the beaches and into the town.
Yes.
So I'm hoping they're going to bring some good retail pleasure to the island.
I'm very happy that you came today rather than yesterday. We had 2 days of heavy rain.
I understand.
But we have cleaned up and so on as best as we can.
Yeah. It was quite wet actually yesterday in Grenada as well, quite showery, but
but I'm very happy you're here, Paul.
Yeah, we certainly hope you enjoy your time on board. I'm looking forward to many returns.
Absolutely. Perhaps we approach it.
And who knows in the future, home porting, that would be it, I think, wouldn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Pleasure.
God bless you.
Minister of Tourism Cecil Mackey, in his address to mark Tourism Month 2016, said how we respond to this wonderful opportunity will, to a large extent, shine a light on whether we are moving forward together with maturity to capitalize on this competitive market. He said his ministry will be conducting human resource training seminars to lift the quality of the service and enhance the overall visitor experience. More local news up next.